Hello everyone and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we're taking a look at another Generation Selects from Transformers War for Cybertron Trilogy. This is Deluxe Class Hotshot. This guy was recently made available during New York Comic Con. I don't want to say he was a Comic Con exclusive because I don't think that's true. A lot of times, like the way they did it with San Diego, they had exclusives to the show and then later sold them on their website. This was just, hey, we're announcing it officially at New York Comic Con. You can go buy it right now. So there was no like exclusivity. That's how you say it, I think. To the show, there was no exclusivity to the show. They just announced it at the show and then immediately posted it on their website. So I think it's still up now if you'd like to go get one for yourself. Here he is. Go ahead and take him out of here. We got the instruction sheet. As you can probably tell, he is a repaint / remold of Siege Hound, but painted like, now they just call him Hotshot, but to me he's Cybertron Defense Hotshot from Cybertron, aka X-Geyser, I think. X-Geyser from Galaxy Force. I forget what his... He was Exilion before he got rebuilt, and I think it was X-Geyser or something like that. In any case, he looks pretty good. Love the color scheme. So this is definitely a Cybertron Hotshot. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to get him out of the packaging here, and we'll take a closer look. So here he is out of the packaging. Looking pretty excellent, I must say. They really nailed the color scheme. I think that's one thing of Cybertron Hotshot that they absolutely, like, it's that perfect blue, the red. Really nailed the color scheme on that. It automatically takes you back to that figure. The head sculpt also really well done. The black head with kind of the gold crown, the blue eyes, silver face paint, all looks really nice. Autobot symbol here, very sharp. I love that. So overall, just a really nice looking figure. Pretty much the same articulation and everything as Prowl, but not Prowl, Hound. I always mix up Prowl and Hound. I don't know why. Ball joint in the head. You can tilt forward and back, spin side to side. Hinge and swivel in the shoulder. Bicep swivel 90 degrees in the elbow. I believe there is a wrist swivel as well. There is. You have a waist swivel, ball joint in the hip, and a thigh swivel as well. A little over 90 degrees in the knee, and then of course you have the ankle tilt. So you can do some crazy wide stances if you want. He'll still fall over. Anyway, he looks good. He stands well. He does come with some accessories. He has this gun, rifle, whatever you'd like to call it. He's got this piece, which usually you just kind of stick on the back of this. That's how it came in the packaging. You can take them apart and put them in different spots in vehicle mode, but we'll get there. And then if you want to give him the second gun, you can. If you want to put this up here on the shoulder peg. Why is it not doing it? I swear that this can peg in there. There we go. I don't know why it was giving me the business there. I mean, technically, if you wanted, you could put both guns. But you might have to take this piece off the back for it to fit. I'm trying to think. I think Cybertron Defense Hotshot had 2 shoulder guns, if I'm not mistaken. So you could replicate that. Unfortunately, they cast shadow, so it's kind of hard to see his face. But you certainly can do that. I'm going to take this off. There we go. I'm just going to put the rifle back in his hand. I don't know why those are having such a difficult time pegging in. Here's Hound, just for a comparison, and Hound's pegs in no problem, so I don't know what the deal is there, but you can see that they are mold brothers, but they both look good. I would say that they're pretty much sculpted exactly the same except for the heads, and then it's all just paint deco that makes them different. But yeah, looking pretty good. Let's go ahead and get into the transformation. Alright, so if you remember Hound's transformation, pretty much exactly the same thing, nothing new going on. First thing you're going to do, unhook the backpack from this like peg down here above the waist. You can flip this around. These two pegs will peg into the two shoulder peg slots that I had trouble pegging the guns into. So you'll go ahead and make sure that they're pegged all the way in. You can kind of just flip this up to get it out of the way. Come to the shoulders and kind of rock them back so that they're unpegged, because they kind of latch in here and keep this in place. Once they're off, you can go ahead and tilt this whole thing back. This will come up and cover the head. At this point, you can flip this middle part of the legs out, and then this whole thing will fold all the way straight down. Do this on both legs, just like that. Then you're going to come around like this. You're going to bend these at the knee. I guess actually, to get them out of the way, you should bring in the arms in the meantime and just kind of hang them out like this. They just kind of have to be out of the way so that you can go ahead, bring this out to the side to give yourself a little bit of clearance. Because this is a little, I don't say difficult, but just getting everything out of the way. So as that flips around, then this is going to come back up. And you can see that the thing that the shoulders are pegged into is going to peg into this big square spot right here. So you just peg that in, and then you can push the toes down like that, so it makes a little bit of clearance into the Jeep. At this point, you can spin the arms around. You'll see that there is a tab hole right there, so you want to make sure that that's underneath, because that's going to peg into this tiny black tab right there where my finger is. So bring this down, and that will peg into that. And then we're just going to repeat everything with this side. Bring this around. Once you do the second one, you can peg these two together in the back. Bring this around. Why is that not? There we go. It wasn't quite lined up. Peg that in. Push the foot down. And then rotate that arm around so we can tab that in underneath. Then you can also push this back, what was the backpack, down. It'll peg into the two legs just to shore that all up. And there you go. There is the little Jeep mode for Cybertron Defense Hotshot. So you can bring those accessories in. This is the like tire piece that kind of pegs in right here. So you can pop that on like that. Then you have two peg spots right there. You also have two right here. So however you want to, you could put this down here. You could put this one up here. You could also put this over here like that. You have some other spots here, here. I mean, it's all the same peg. So you can peg this wherever you want. If you have any other weaponizers, battle masters, anything you want, all those peg spots are the same, so you can arm him up with all kinds of crazy armaments, guns, weapons, whatever you like. But yeah, it's a pretty cool little vehicle. I don't really remember. I'm trying to think what Cybertron Defense Hotshot turned into. It was kind of like a weird armored tank type thing. It was almost like a military vehicle. Like it didn't really... kind of just looked like a solid metal canoe, really, with wheels. They're just like a battering ram. So this doesn't, it's not quite the same, but I kind of think this is a better vehicle, in my opinion. Because that was a really weird vehicle he turned into before, so I kind of like the look of this better. But yeah, like I said, great color scheme, great little vehicle, rolls pretty well. Overall, pretty solid. So I have to say, I like him. I definitely like him more than I thought I was going to. I was always wondering what they were going to do with Hound's mold, because they always like to reuse everything for a repaint or a slate remold to get another use out of it. And when I saw Hound, I was just thinking to myself, you know, what else could they do? I was thinking maybe roll bar or something, one of the throttle bots. And I think this is a good alternative. I think this is a good idea. I think it works. I think the color scheme's great. The head sculpt is good. It would have been nice to get maybe a little bit more specialized accessories, but again, I don't really know what they would have done, because if I remember correctly, Cybertron Defense Hotshot just had like a backpack that when you put the key in, like opened him up onto his shoulders. So they weren't really guns per se. It was just kind of like a gimmick, which doesn't really make sense to try to transfer here. So yeah, I think it's a good use of the mold, and I think the color scheme's great, and the head sculpt is good. Do you need it? That's going to be up to you. If you loved the Hound mold, then I say go ahead, pick it up. If you're a huge fan of Cybertron, then I say go ahead and pick it up. You know, if you don't really care about those things, if you don't really have anything invested in the character of Hotshot, then maybe you could skip it. It's really, because it's kind of like everything else is G1, and then here's this random Cybertron character just kind of thrown in here. So I can understand how a lot of people who are just kind of collecting G1 stuff maybe don't care about this guy. Not to say that you should count him out. I'm just saying it really depends on if you care about this character or not. Because if you really don't, I could easily see you skipping this guy. But it is a good toy. It's a great figure, and it definitely looks sharp. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And as always, thanks so much for watching.